Make those who disregard you tremble with these 10 silent actions. Stoicism. Have you ever felt invisible, overlooked, or dismissed as if someone decided to shut you out? It's a feeling that can make you question your worth, especially when you don't understand why. But take a deep breath. This is not the end. Maybe you've spent endless hours searching for answers, convincing yourself that you're the problem. But here's the thing. Sometimes, silence isn't rejection. It's an opportunity. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 powerful actions you can take when faced with someone distancing themselves. Trust me, these aren't just tips. They're Stoic secrets that will change how you see the world and yourself. Stick around for the last one, because it might just leave you speechless. Remember, you can't control others, but you can control how you respond. Why not use this silence to reconnect with the most important person in your life? Yourself? In these moments when you stop looking for validation, you'll realize that your worth doesn't depend on others' attention. So stop stressing over things you can't change and focus on the power within you. Stay with me and let's dive in. There's a lesson here that could change everything for you. You're watching Stoic in Your Life. Before we dive in, let me tell you a story that will help you better understand the wisdom in this material. A story of letting go. In an ancient village surrounded by mountains and rushing rivers, there lived a woman named Mariella, who suffered in silence. Her heart ached because someone close to her had begun to distance themselves and ignore her without any apparent reason. Mariella felt confused and sank deeper into sadness each day, trying to understand why that person had left her behind. One day, while wandering aimlessly through the forest seeking solace, she came upon a wise old man who lived in a humble cabin by the river. Seeing her so distraught, the wise man asked kindly, "Daughter, what burden do you carry in your heart?" Mariella, her eyes filled with tears, shared her story and the pain she felt at being ignored and distanced from for no reason. The old man listened attentively, nodding patiently, and when she finished, he said, "Let me tell you something. A long time ago, in this same forest there grew a very special tree. It had strong branches and leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. It was the favorite tree of all the birds, who came to it to build their nests and find shelter. However, over time, some birds began to fly away to other places, leaving its branches empty. The tree felt sad to see its branches bare and wondered what it had done wrong. Mariella listened closely as the old man continued. One day, a wise wind blew through the tree's branches and whispered to it, "Do not mourn the birds that leave. They find their way according to their needs. You, as a tree, must continue to grow. Stretch your branches toward the sky and strengthen your roots in the earth. Those who value your shade and protection will always return." The tree then understood that its worth did not depend on the birds that visited it, but on how firm and strong it could become. Upon hearing this story, Mariella felt something begin to heal within her. She realized that she could not control others' decisions, but could grow and strengthen herself, like that tree in the forest. She thanked the old man for his words, and with a new understanding, began her journey home. When someone distances themselves or ignores us, it's not our task to hold them back or question why. Our true mission is to continue growing, like the tree, trusting that those who truly value our essence will always find their way back. Number 1. Understand the value of silence. Silence, though often overlooked, is one of the most powerful tools you can wield. In a world that thrives on noise, be it verbal, digital, or emotional, silence offers an undeniable strength. When someone disregards you, distances themselves, or treats you with indifference, it's natural to feel the urge to fill the space with explanations, demands, or even anger. However, more often than not, silence holds far greater power than words. It is a deliberate choice that demonstrates wisdom, self-control, and a refusal to be pulled into chaos. Picture a heated argument. One person is shouting, trying to dominate the conversation, while the other remains calm, composed, and silent. In that moment, who truly holds the power? The one standing in silence carries an air of confidence, their stillness exuding strength that words could never convey. In Stoic philosophy, silence is not a retreat, it is a strategy, an intentional act of preserving your inner peace and protecting your dignity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, profoundly reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Silence is a testament to that realization. When you choose not to react to someone's disregard or attempt to provoke you, you are exercising control over what truly matters: your mind, your emotions, and your sense of self-worth. Instead of letting their actions dictate your state of mind, you stand firm, rooted in your own values. Think back to a moment when you felt misunderstood or ignored. Perhaps you reacted impulsively, raising your voice, sending a long-winded message, or demanding explanations. Did it help? Or did it leave you feeling drained and frustrated? The truth is, hastily reacting to rejection or indifference often exacerbates the problem. Silence, on the other hand, gives you the time and space to reflect on the situation. It allows you to process your emotions, evaluate what's within your control, and ultimately make wiser decisions. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, reminds us to focus solely on what is in our power. Your words, actions, and inner peace are yours to command, while the opinions or behaviors of others remain beyond your grasp. This is one of the core Stoic secrets, understanding that silence is not passive, it's a profound act of self-discipline. Number 1. Understand the value of silence. Silence, though often overlooked, is one of the most powerful tools you can wield. In a world that thrives on noise, be it verbal, digital, or emotional, silence offers an undeniable strength. When someone disregards you, distances themselves, or treats you with indifference, it's natural to feel the urge to fill the space with explanations, demands, or even anger. However, more often than not, silence holds far greater power than words. It is a deliberate choice that demonstrates wisdom, self-control, and a refusal to be pulled into chaos. Picture a heated argument. One person is shouting, trying to dominate the conversation, while the other remains calm, composed, and silent. In that moment, who truly holds the power? The one standing in silence carries an air of confidence, their stillness exuding strength that words could never convey. In Stoic philosophy, silence is not a retreat, it is a strategy, an intentional act of preserving your inner peace and protecting your dignity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, profoundly reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Silence is a testament to that realization. When you choose not to react to someone's disregard or attempt to provoke you, you are exercising control over what truly matters: your mind, your emotions, and your sense of self-worth. Instead of letting their actions dictate your state of mind, you stand firm, rooted in your own values. Think back to a moment when you felt misunderstood or ignored. Perhaps you reacted impulsively, raising your voice, sending a long-winded message, or demanding explanations. Did it help? Or did it leave you feeling drained and frustrated? The truth is, hastily reacting to rejection or indifference often exacerbates the problem. Silence, on the other hand, gives you the time and space to reflect on the situation. It allows you to process your emotions, evaluate what's within your control, and ultimately make wiser decisions. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, reminds us to focus solely on what is in our power. Your words, actions, and inner peace are yours to command, while the opinions or behaviors of others remain beyond your grasp. This is one of the core Stoic secrets, understanding that silence is not passive, it's a profound act of self-discipline. Silence creates a space for wisdom to emerge. It allows you to see the situation more clearly and to respond in a way that aligns with your values rather than your immediate emotions. Silence also communicates a message. Your self-worth does not depend on the validation of others. By remaining silent, you show that you are unshaken, confident in who you are, and unwilling to engage in petty disputes. This doesn't mean you never speak up or address issues when necessary. Silence is not about passivity. It's about intentionality. It's choosing when to engage and when to let your quiet strength make the statement for you. Those who disregard you may initially view your silence as indifference or weakness, but over time, they will come to see it for what it truly is, an unshakable display of inner power. Silence forces others to confront their own actions, and often, it's in the absence of your reaction that they begin to feel the weight of their behavior. The lesson here is clear. Don't fear silence. Embrace it. Use it as a tool to reflect, build emotional resilience, and remain grounded in your values. Remember, silence is not the absence of response, but the most deliberate and powerful one. When you practice silence, you free yourself from the turbulence of others' actions and maintain control over your own mind and emotions. This, in itself, is an extraordinary strength. As you carry this principle into your daily life, you'll find that silence demands respect in ways words never could. Those who disregard you will come to realize that your silence was never a void, but a profound statement of your worth, discipline, and strength. This is the essence of the Stoic secret. Wield silence as a weapon of inner peace and unshakable self-control. Through it, you not only preserve your dignity, but also cultivate a presence so strong that it commands attention without a single word. Number 2, strengthen your confidence and self-esteem. When others disregard or distance themselves from you, it can feel like a profound challenge to your self-worth. It's natural to fall into self-doubt, questioning, "What did I do wrong?" or "Am I not good enough?" These thoughts, if left unchecked, can erode your confidence and self-esteem. Yet, this response gives away your power to forces outside your control. Modern Stoicism teaches us a timeless truth. Your worth is not defined by others' opinions or actions, but by the principles and values you live by. Marcus Aurelius observed, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This contradiction reveals how often we seek external validation when the true source of confidence lies within. Real self-esteem is not found in others' approval, but in the quiet dignity of honoring your values and respecting yourself. To reclaim your confidence, it's essential to realize that others' perceptions do not define you. The Stoics emphasize that it's not events themselves that matter, but how we respond to them. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom calls for a shift in focus, from external judgments to building inner resilience. Start by affirming your worth through small, meaningful actions. Reflect on your strengths, achievements, and the qualities that make you unique. Write them down or remind yourself of them regularly. Just as you'd uplift a close friend in hard times, treat yourself with that same kindness. Confidence grows through consistent self-care and a deliberate choice to value yourself regardless of outside noise. Self-esteem is not a destination, but a journey of continuous practice. Confidence ebbs and flows, so it's vital to challenge negative self-talk whenever it arises. When rejection or distance from others triggers feelings of inadequacy, replace those thoughts with affirmations such as, "I am more than this moment. My worth is inherent and not defined by others' opinions." These mental anchors strengthen your resilience and keep you grounded in the truth that your value is intrinsic. Every time you push back against self-doubt, you reinforce your emotional strength, preparing yourself to face a world where external actions are often unpredictable. True confidence and self-esteem thrive when you align your life with your authentic self. The Stoic principle of living in harmony with nature encourages acting in alignment with your highest self, knowing your values and refusing to compromise your integrity for approval. Take a moment to reflect. Are you prioritizing others' judgments over your own well-being? If so, it's time to refocus on what matters to you. Confidence grows from self-awareness and self-acceptance, not from external validation. It's about creating a life that reflects who you truly are, free from the constant need to prove your worth to others. Self-compassion is a cornerstone of this process, not an indulgence. Seneca urged, "Be your own friend and look after yourself with care." When faced with rejection or emotional pain, resist the urge to retreat into doubt or search for explanations in others' actions. Instead, turn inward and care for your well-being. Journaling, meditation, or simply pausing to breathe deeply can help you regain balance. By treating yourself with compassion, you transform moments of rejection into opportunities for growth, building resilience instead of crumbling under the weight of others' opinions. In today's fast-paced and judgment-driven world, modern Stoicism provides a practical framework for strengthening confidence and self-esteem. Social media, career pressures, and societal expectations often fuel feelings of inadequacy. The Stoics remind us to ground our worth in principles, not in fleeting external opinions. Mastering your inner dialogue is key to maintaining peace of mind and emotional strength. Rather than seeking approval or letting criticism shape your self-image, focus on living according to your values. By nurturing confidence rooted in your principles, you build resilience that transcends the judgments of others. This resilience allows you to live authentically, free from the need for external approval. No longer defined by others' opinions, you become the architect of your own worth, creating a life uniquely aligned with your values. In this lies true freedom, the freedom to live as your best self, regardless of how others perceive or treat you. Remember, the journey to self-confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about making progress. Every step you take toward valuing yourself more deeply is a step toward a life of greater peace, authenticity, and fulfillment. And number 3, redefine your self-worth. In a world dominated by likes, shares, and social media validation, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring our self-worth through the eyes of others. We often tie our value to how others treat or perceive us. When someone ignores or dismisses us, it can feel like a personal attack on our worth. However, this thinking ignores a universal truth. Our inherent value is not determined by external opinions. Confucius once said, "Respect yourself and others will respect you," highlighting that our self-worth begins with how we view ourselves. This concept aligns with Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to base our value on our actions, character, and what we can control, rather than on the fleeting approval of others. Redefining your self-worth is an active process that requires a shift in mindset. It starts with realizing that the opinions of others, no matter how harsh, don't define who you are. When faced with rejection or neglect, remind yourself that their behavior is about them, not you. In those moments, focus on what truly defines you, your virtues, resilience, and commitment to personal growth. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, remind us that we often care more about others' opinions than our own, causing emotional turmoil. Stoicism offers a remedy, taking control over how we see ourselves, regardless of outside judgments. To practice this, base your self-worth on your integrity and efforts, rather than on external validation. Each time you face a challenge or show kindness, you're building a foundation of value that no one can take away. While rejection can still hurt, it becomes less significant when you see it as something external and beyond your control. The Stoic wisdom of Epictetus reminds us that it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. Letting go of the need for others' approval frees you from the endless cycle of seeking validation, allowing you to approach life with calm confidence. By redefining your self-worth, you cultivate an unshakable core that remains steady despite external turbulence. This isn't arrogance, but quiet confidence. When your worth is rooted in your actions, character, and self-respect, you naturally exude an authority that commands respect. Those who once disregarded you may begin to notice, not because you sought their attention, but because your presence demands it. This silent strength is the essence of Stoic resilience, standing firm in who you are, regardless of others' opinions. In today's world, where social media can distort self-perception, it's easy to feel inadequate when others don't respond the way we expect. But by focusing inward, you can protect your emotional well-being and find fulfillment in things that truly matter. Instead of seeking likes or approval, focus on living according to your values. Ask yourself, am I acting with integrity? Am I being kind and resilient? The answers to these questions matter far more than any temporary acknowledgement from others. When you stop seeking validation, a paradox occurs. Respect and admiration often come to you naturally. People are drawn to those who embody quiet confidence and self-respect. This is how you make others take notice, not through desperate attempts to win them over, but through the strength of your character. As you develop this mindset, rejection loses its sting. It becomes an opportunity to practice resilience and fortify your inner peace. Redefining your self-worth also enriches your life beyond relationships. By freeing yourself from the burden of others' opinions, you create space to pursue a deeper sense of purpose. You stop wasting energy on what you cannot control and focus on meaningful work, growth, and simply being yourself. Epictetus reminds us that man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. By letting go of imagined fears about your worth, you open the door to living authentically and fearlessly. In practical terms, redefining your self-worth means viewing your life through your own lens. Begin each day with the understanding that your value is inherent and not dependent on external factors. Reflect on how your actions align with your principles and take pride in the small victories that affirm your growth. Remember, Stoicism is not about perfection but progress, constantly becoming the best version of yourself. This mindset builds a solid foundation for self-worth and helps you navigate life with clarity and resilience. This journey is about mastering yourself. When you realize that your worth is yours alone to define, you reclaim your power. By doing so, you embrace one of Stoicism's core lessons. The only true control we have is over ourselves. Through your actions, choices, and mindset, you show that your value is something you carry with unwavering confidence. This understanding, rooted in Stoicism, allows you to rise above the noise of external opinions and live a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment. I'd love to hear from you. How do you handle moments when others disregard or distance themselves? Have you ever found strength in silence or maybe struggled with maintaining your confidence in those situations? Share your thoughts in the comments below with one of these quick answers. I choose silence and grow stronger, or I'm learning to value myself more. And make sure to watch till the end because there's even more valuable insight coming your way, especially the last 3 points. They'll surprise you. Number 4. The art of creating space. In relationships, the idea of creating space can often be misunderstood. Many people tend to view it negatively, associating it with rejection, disconnection, or even abandonment. The truth, however, is that space in relationships is an essential element of growth and understanding. This principle is echoed in both Stoic philosophy and the teachings of Confucius, two ancient schools of thought that emphasize the importance of balance in all aspects of life. While it's natural to feel hurt or even abandoned when someone pulls away, it's important to reframe this feeling and consider the deeper value of this space. Space is not about creating distance in a way that weakens the bond between two people, but rather about creating the room necessary for both individuals to breathe, reflect, and grow. Confucius, one of history's most revered thinkers, emphasized the necessity of reflection in our lives. He believed that time alone allows us the opportunity to truly understand our feelings, evaluate our actions, and make better decisions in the future. By stepping back, you're not abandoning the relationship. Instead, you're giving each other the chance to grow individually, which in turn strengthens the connection. Just like a tree needs space to spread its roots and grow, it doesn't mean the tree is detached from the soil that nurtures it. The tree still has its foundation, its source of support. In relationships, this space serves the same purpose. It nurtures the individuals involved, helping them remain rooted in their true selves and grow stronger as they navigate their connection. The wisdom of the Stoic philosophers, such as Marcus Aurelius, aligns closely with this principle. Stoicism teaches the importance of balance in all things, recognizing that sometimes stepping back is not a sign of weakness or disconnection, but rather an opportunity for renewal and refocusing. In a relationship, rather than immediately rushing to fill the void left by a temporary distance, it's crucial to use that time wisely. Use the space to focus on your own personal growth and well-being. This practice is a form of self-respect, allowing both partners to maintain their emotional independence while still being committed to each other. In the long run, this self-awareness and respect for personal space will only serve to enhance the mutual respect within the relationship. Imagine for a moment a situation where you and your partner experience a period of separation. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but if you use this time wisely, it can become one of the most valuable parts of your relationship. You may use it to learn more about yourself, to pursue your personal interests, or simply to reflect on what truly matters to you. When you come back together, you might find that you're both clearer about your needs and desires. You'll have grown individually, and this will make your connection even more meaningful. The practice of creating space is one of the best-kept Stoic secrets for maintaining healthy relationships. It teaches us that we don't need to be constantly enmeshed with others to maintain a deep connection. Loving someone doesn't require constant proximity or constant communication. Sometimes the strongest relationships are the ones where both individuals respect each other's need for space, and instead of seeing it as a threat, embrace it as an opportunity to become better versions of themselves. The key to making this work is learning to respect boundaries, whether they are physical, emotional, or mental, and allowing the time apart to be a time of personal development. This idea is not about detaching or withdrawing emotionally, but rather about giving each person the space to grow, recalibrate, and return to the relationship with a renewed sense of clarity and strength. The distance that initially seems uncomfortable or unsettling can turn into a source of renewal, bringing both people back to each other with greater insight into what they truly need and want from the relationship. This process fosters a deeper, more harmonious connection, where both partners understand that they don't have to be constantly present in each other's lives to share a meaningful bond. Think about this. Have you ever noticed that after taking a step back from a situation, you often return with a fresh perspective? The same applies to relationships. If you're feeling a distance growing between you and a partner, ask yourself, is this space an opportunity for growth? What can I learn from this time apart that will improve myself and our relationship? Rather than seeing this as a negative, try embracing it as a chance for both of you to focus on self-improvement. After all, when we give ourselves the space to grow individually, we return to relationships stronger, clearer, and more aligned with what we truly need. One of the most profound lessons from Stoic philosophy is that true strength lies in the ability to give each other the room to breathe and become better versions of ourselves. By embracing the concept of creating space, you're not only respecting your own needs but also giving your partner the opportunity to do the same. This balance between independence and togetherness is the foundation of any lasting, meaningful relationship. The next time you find yourself facing a moment of distance in a relationship, remember that this space is not the end. It's a new beginning. Use it wisely, and you might just find that the relationship becomes stronger, deeper, and more resilient than before. Space, when embraced with intention and understanding, becomes a powerful tool for personal and relational growth, and that, in itself, is one of the greatest Stoic secrets to living a fulfilling life and maintaining healthy, thriving relationships. Number 5. Avoid falling into despair. In life, it's easy to fall into despair when someone distances themselves, leaving you alone to face a storm of negative emotions. It's natural to feel abandoned or even question your own worth, wondering if you've lost something precious or whether you were simply not enough. The emotional weight of such situations can quickly overwhelm your mind, spiraling you into a state of despair. However, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In other words, while you cannot control the actions of others, you do have complete control over how you respond to them. When faced with emotional turmoil, it's essential to pause and reflect on how we can shift our focus away from the external circumstances and towards how we choose to interpret them. Personal growth, according to Stoic philosophy, is never contingent on external factors such as the behavior of others. Instead, growth comes from our own internal development and perspective shifts. Confucius, in his teachings, emphasized that growth is a continuous journey, one that is not halted by temporary setbacks or the need for external validation. True growth comes from self-discipline, resilience, and the ability to maintain one's equilibrium despite the challenges life may throw at us. In line with this, modern Stoicism encourages us to reflect on how we can better ourselves in every situation, no matter how difficult. While we may not be able to control others' actions or how they treat us, we hold the immense power of controlling how we respond. In moments of emotional distress, despair may feel like an inevitable trap, one that threatens to consume us whole. It's easy to succumb to feelings of hopelessness, allowing negative emotions to flood our minds and bodies. Yet the Stoics urge us to resist the urge to spiral into despair. Instead of letting ourselves become tangled in the negative emotions of the moment, we are encouraged to take a step back and view the situation from a wider perspective. By detaching ourselves from the immediate emotional turmoil, we create the space to reflect on the bigger picture. Emotions like sorrow, rejection, and loneliness often stem from the way we interpret a situation and our attachment to outcomes we can no longer control. These feelings are often magnified by our assumptions and expectations, which may not always align with reality. Adopting the Stoic approach means recognizing what is within our control and what is not. While we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our own thoughts, reactions, and emotional responses. By focusing on what we can control, our mindset and our actions, we regain peace of mind. When we allow ourselves to fall into despair, we only deepen our suffering by feeding it with anxiety, fear, and negative thinking. Desperation, if unchecked, can grow like a wildfire, consuming us until we feel helpless. However, by practicing the Stoic principle of emotional detachment, we can regain clarity and calm. Instead of succumbing to despair, we can refocus our energy on things that we can influence, such as our thoughts and behavior. In moments when someone distances themselves from us, it's important not to view their actions as a personal attack. Rather than seeing their withdrawal as an insult or rejection, we can choose to interpret it as an opportunity for growth. This moment, though painful, can serve as a reminder to reconnect with our own path and our own values. It's a chance to turn inward, focusing on our own needs, growth, and self-worth. By doing so, we reinforce the idea that our peace of mind does not depend on the approval or presence of others. As Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. In this way, we discover that our true strength lies not in others' actions, but in our ability to control our own minds and emotions. Taking a step back and cultivating emotional self-discipline allows us to grow stronger and more resilient over time. We learn to navigate life's inevitable challenges with greater ease and wisdom. Instead of feeling defeated by setbacks, we begin to see them as opportunities to practice patience, self-reflection, and emotional growth. Each time we resist the pull of negative emotions and choose a path of rationality and emotional control, we fortify ourselves for the future. This mindset doesn't make us immune to pain or hardship, but it does empower us to face them with resilience and grace. The practice of modern Stoicism encourages us to embrace these moments of difficulty, not as obstacles, but as integral parts of our personal growth journey. When faced with emotional challenges, we can choose to rise above them by applying Stoic principles to our everyday lives. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we become less vulnerable to the actions of others and more capable of maintaining our inner peace. Over time, this practice helps us develop the resilience needed to face future challenges with a calm, rational, and unshakable mindset. In embracing modern Stoicism, we not only learn to cope with life's adversities, but to transcend them with wisdom, clarity, and strength, making us better equipped for whatever comes our way. Number 6. Effective communication. In today's fast-paced world, when someone withdraws or ignores us, it's easy to feel provoked and react impulsively. The natural responses, either lashing out or retreating, can often escalate tensions, making the situation worse. However, both Stoicism and Confucianism advocate for a more powerful approach: thoughtful, measured communication. Reacting emotionally can cause harm and misunderstanding, while maintaining composure and calm fosters constructive dialogue. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury," a reminder that we control our responses and should aim to respond with wisdom, not anger or hurt. When confronted with someone's withdrawal, it's essential to step back and approach the situation thoughtfully. Instead of jumping to conclusions or assuming the worst, take a deep breath and initiate a respectful conversation. A simple, non-confrontational statement such as, "I've noticed we've been distant lately, is something on your mind?" opens the door to communication without putting the other person on the defensive. This method, rooted in Stoic principles, encourages reflection and calmness rather than rash reactions. Confucius also emphasized the power of silence in relationships, stating, "Silence is a true friend who never betrays." Fostering communication through mutual respect helps prevent misunderstandings that might otherwise cause conflict. Effective communication goes beyond just expressing yourself. It involves listening, empathizing, and engaging in a way that fosters understanding. Active listening, a key component of both Stoicism and Confucianism, requires us to set aside judgments and genuinely hear the other person's perspective. As Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we speak." Truly listening allows the other person to feel heard and respected, and can profoundly impact both personal and professional relationships. It prevents minor issues from escalating into major conflicts and nurtures a sense of trust and respect. In modern Stoicism, we learn that communication isn't just about the words we use, but the energy we bring into the conversation. Our internal state directly influences how we communicate. If we allow emotions to dominate, we risk unintentionally damaging the relationship. However, when we approach conversations with patience and understanding, we create space for honest, productive dialogue. As Seneca reminds us, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Adopting this mindset allows us to face uncomfortable conversations with confidence and resolve, helping us handle conflict with composure and clarity. Effective communication does more than resolve conflict. It deepens relationships. By expressing ourselves clearly and respectfully while demonstrating empathy, we invite others into meaningful interactions. Confucianism values harmony in relationships, and through effective communication, we can cultivate this harmony. Similarly, modern Stoicism teaches that the ability to communicate effectively reflects our self-control, discipline, and emotional resilience. Practicing these virtues not only helps resolve problems but also strengthens bonds and fosters deeper connections with others. In practical terms, applying modern Stoic principles to communication involves being mindful of our words and actions. Before reacting to a perceived slight, pause and reflect on your response. Ask yourself, what is my goal in this conversation? Am I trying to understand, or am I trying to win? When we shift our focus from being right to seeking understanding, we create a safe space for others to share their thoughts and feelings. This approach builds trust, fosters respect, and resolves conflicts in a way that honors both parties. Furthermore, communication is a two-way street. In Stoicism, we understand that while we can control our own actions, we cannot control how others respond. This acceptance alleviates much of the anxiety that often comes with difficult conversations and allows us to remain focused on our behavior. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This reinforces the idea that the true power of communication lies not in the outcome but in the process itself, the way we engage with others and show respect during the interaction. In today's world of instant communication, taking time for thoughtful, deliberate conversations has never been more important. Whether in personal relationships or professional settings, effective communication is essential for building trust and understanding. By practicing modern Stoicism, we can transform potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and connection. The next time you feel the urge to react impulsively, remember the Stoic wisdom that teaches the power of calm, reasoned communication. This not only improves relationships, but also strengthens our character and emotional resilience. Through this approach, we cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections and create a life defined by wisdom, respect, and tranquility. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. How do you handle the space in relationships? Do you see it as an opportunity for growth, or does it feel unsettling at first? Share your thoughts in the comments with one of these simple answers. I embrace space for growth, or I feel challenged by distance but learning to grow. And don't forget to stick around until the end of the video, because the last 3 points will definitely surprise you. There's so much more to learn, so watch closely. Number 7. The value of not chasing. When you feel overlooked or dismissed, it's tempting to chase after someone's attention, believing that if you just try harder, if you give more of yourself, they'll notice you and come back to you. This desire for validation, for someone to affirm your worth, is a natural impulse. But the Stoic philosophy teaches us something crucial. True peace and freedom come when we release the need for external validation. Instead of pursuing someone's affection or approval, the Stoics encourage us to let go and focus inward. This doesn't mean you give up on the relationship or stop caring, but rather that you come to understand that your self-worth should never depend on how others treat you. You are valuable because of who you are, not because someone else acknowledges you. Confucius, much like the Stoics, emphasized the importance of self-sufficiency and inner strength, advocating for independence in both our thoughts and actions. When we stop chasing after approval, we begin to appreciate ourselves for our inherent worth, no longer relying on others to define us. Think about this for a moment. How often have you felt desperate when you're trying to gain someone's attention or approval? It's a cycle that leaves you feeling drained and unworthy. The more you chase, the more distant the person becomes, almost as if they sense your neediness. The truth is, desperation repels people. The key to breaking this cycle lies in turning your focus inward rather than outward. When you stop chasing, you create space for something more powerful, self-assurance. By cultivating your inner strength, developing your passions, and focusing on your own life goals, you become a person who is naturally magnetic, not because you're chasing anyone, but because you're grounded in your own sense of purpose. This energy draws people to you in a way that feels effortless. They'll respect you not because you're chasing their approval, but because you've found respect within yourself. Consider a story many of us can relate to. Imagine you're at a party standing with a group of people. There's one person in the group you desperately want to impress, so you talk louder, share stories, and try to get their attention. But the more you try, the more they seem uninterested, their eyes wandering elsewhere. Now imagine the same scenario, but this time you're not chasing anyone's approval. You're engaged in the conversation, laughing, enjoying yourself, and not worrying about whether this person notices you. Strangely enough, when you stop caring so much, they start paying attention to you. Why? Because you're not trying to chase them. You've created space, and that energy draws them in. The Stoic secrets here are powerful. You can control your own actions, but you can't control the actions of others. The more you chase someone's attention, the more it shows you're putting your value in their hands. But when you stop chasing, you take control over your own peace and self-worth. You start to see that the respect you seek must first come from within. By focusing on yourself, on your growth, your passions, and your personal goals, you naturally attract the right people who value you for who you truly are, not for what you can do for them. This lesson isn't just about relationships, it applies to all areas of life. Whether it's friendships, family, or even career pursuits, chasing external validation can leave you feeling empty. When you stop chasing, you open the door to true freedom, peace, and the ability to attract the right kind of attention. This inner shift changes the way you move through the world, making you less reliant on external factors to feel validated. You will find that people come to you not because they are obligated, but because they are drawn to your sense of self-worth. What can you take from this? The next time you feel overlooked or ignored, ask yourself, am I chasing after something that isn't meant for me? How can I refocus my energy on my own growth and well-being instead of trying to win the approval of others? Recognize that the more you stop chasing, the more you invite respect, admiration, and meaningful connections into your life. The true power lies in your ability to release the need for validation and instead cultivate a life where you attract others through your inner strength and peace. And remember, this is one of the most profound Stoic secrets. You can control your actions, but you cannot control the actions of others. Focus on your growth and the right people will be drawn to you naturally. Number 8. Focus on self-growth. When someone distances themselves from you, it's easy to feel as though the foundation of your world is crumbling. Emotions can run deep, and it's natural to feel lost, rejected, or confused, wondering what went wrong or why the person has chosen to pull away. However, these moments of emotional distance, while painful, can also present an incredible opportunity, a chance to turn inward and focus on your own growth and self-improvement. Rather than fixating on the relationship or trying to decipher the other person's behavior, use this time as a gift, an invitation to invest in yourself. The ancient philosopher Confucius emphasized the importance of continual self-improvement, teaching that we should always strive to become the best versions of ourselves, no matter the circumstances. This teaching, though ancient, holds profound relevance in today's world, especially in the context of modern Stoicism, which encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own development. The Stoic philosophers, too, highlighted the power of growth through adversity. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, noted, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This wisdom reminds us that challenges, whether personal setbacks, emotional struggles, or relational distance, are opportunities to strengthen ourselves and grow. In the face of emotional turmoil, the best response is often to focus on self-growth. While it may feel difficult at first to break away from the longing or the emotional weight of the absence, the Stoic approach teaches us to embrace adversity as a powerful tool for personal transformation. When you are faced with the absence of another person, whether through physical distance or emotional withdrawal, the tendency is to ruminate on what went wrong, to fixate on the loss, and to waste precious energy in trying to control what is beyond your reach. However, true strength comes when we shift our focus away from the external and place our attention squarely on the internal. Self-improvement is not something that depends on external validation or the presence of others. It is something we can always work on ourselves, regardless of what is happening around us. Whether it's learning a new skill, dedicating time to your health, or deepening your understanding of a subject you care about, self-growth is an ongoing, lifelong pursuit. This process of continuous self-betterment is central to modern Stoicism, which holds that we are always in control of our own development. To begin your journey of growth, start by identifying areas of your life that you feel could use attention and improvement. Are there skills you've always wanted to master? Perhaps you've neglected your physical health or longed to cultivate more meaningful connections with others. This time of emotional withdrawal can be used as an opportunity to dive deep into your passions and areas of personal development. Whether it's through reading books that expand your knowledge, engaging in creative pursuits like writing or painting, or focusing on physical fitness, each step you take towards improving yourself strengthens your sense of control and self-worth. The Stoics saw life's challenges not as obstacles to be avoided, but as opportunities for growth. Instead of wallowing in the absence of someone else or letting it define your emotional state, channel that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. When you do this, you not only reclaim your emotional well-being, but you also attract people into your life who appreciate you for who you are and the person you've become through your own efforts. By focusing on self-growth, you cultivate resilience, independence, and confidence. 3 pillars that are essential for building and maintaining healthy relationships. When you invest in your own development, you create a foundation of self-assurance that allows you to remain emotionally grounded regardless of external circumstances. This internal strength not only helps you weather the storms of life, but also ensures that you can engage in relationships from a place of wholeness, rather than seeking validation from others. True fulfillment comes from knowing that you are enough on your own, and that your value is not determined by anyone else's actions or opinions. In this way, self-growth is not just about improving one's skills or knowledge, but also about strengthening one's emotional resilience and personal confidence. As you continue on your path of self-improvement, remember that growth is an ongoing process, one that never truly ends. It is a continuous journey of becoming the best version of yourself, regardless of the people or circumstances that may come and go in your life. By committing to this process, you ensure that you remain fulfilled and self-reliant, regardless of what others do. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can always control how we respond and how we grow. When faced with emotional setbacks, instead of sinking into despair or questioning your worth, choose to focus on self-growth and personal development. This shift in mindset will not only help you emerge from difficult situations stronger, but it will also make you more resilient and prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the commitment to constant self-improvement. Because when you grow, you not only become a stronger person, but you also attract the right people and experiences into your life. Through modern Stoicism, we can all learn to turn moments of emotional distance and challenge into opportunities for growth, ultimately leading to a more fulfilled, resilient, and empowered life. Number 9. Rediscover yourself. In the rush of everyday life, especially when relationships and external pressures pull us in many directions, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. This becomes even more apparent when someone distances themselves, leaving us to face a void. Rather than letting this silence or emotional disconnect weigh us down, we can use it as a powerful opportunity to pause and reflect. Confucianism teaches us the importance of self-awareness and understanding one's desires and values, suggesting that in moments of separation or silence, we can reclaim our clarity by looking inward. In those quiet moments, we can ask ourselves fundamental questions. What do I truly want in life? What do I need to feel fulfilled? What are my core values and priorities? These reflective questions allow us to explore what truly matters to us, without the noise of external expectations or judgments clouding our vision. This practice of self-reflection, encouraged by both Confucianism and modern Stoicism, is essential for regaining a sense of personal direction. The Stoics, particularly figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, believe that true peace and fulfillment come when we focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and beliefs. In today's world, where we are bombarded with opinions, preferences, and distractions, it's easy to lose focus and become overly concerned with what others think or how they behave. However, when we start to prioritize what we can control, our inner thoughts and reactions, we free ourselves from the unnecessary stress of external validation. As Epictetus wisely noted, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This insight is crucial because it reminds us that we can choose how to respond to the external forces around us, ultimately redirecting our focus back to our true selves. Rediscovering who you are involves a deep and honest examination of your past choices and behaviors, reflecting on your life journey, and understanding what has truly brought you fulfillment and what has only served as a temporary distraction helps you realign your life with your authentic self. It requires shedding external labels, societal expectations, and the judgments of others, all of which often obscure the essence of who we are. The more we adhere to these external forces, the more we lose touch with our own values, desires, and the personal standards that truly guide us toward happiness and fulfillment. As Marcus Aurelius once stated, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This reinforces the Stoic belief that we have the power to redefine ourselves, independent of outside influence, and by doing so, we cultivate a clearer, more intentional path forward. In modern life, this process of rediscovery is more important than ever. With the constant bombardment of social media, societal pressures, and the overwhelming influence of others' opinions, it can feel like we are constantly performing for an audience. But when we take time to disconnect and reflect, we return to the source of our true strength, our inner selves. The opportunity to rediscover your personal values allows you to move beyond the limiting expectations of others, freeing you to pursue what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. During these quiet periods, use the time not to dwell in loneliness or frustration, but to reconnect with the things that genuinely make you happy, your passions, your ambitions, your core beliefs. The process of rediscovering yourself also involves letting go of past attachments that no longer serve you. It can be liberating to release old grudges, outdated goals, or superficial relationships that have held you back. This isn't a process of rejecting your past, but rather of shedding the layers that no longer align with the person you are becoming. Modern Stoicism offers powerful tools for navigating this process, teaching us that true fulfillment comes when we are free from the need for external approval. By grounding ourselves in our actions, virtues, and beliefs, things we can control, we reclaim our power and create a life rooted in authenticity. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This insight encourages us to take full ownership of our lives, both in terms of our choices and how we view ourselves. As you embark on the journey of rediscovery, it's important to be patient with yourself. This isn't a quick fix or a sudden epiphany, but rather a gradual, ongoing process of realigning with your true self. In doing so, you will find peace and clarity. By letting go of the need for external validation and instead focusing on living according to your principles, you will create a life of more meaning and less distraction. This is where real happiness resides, not in the applause of others, but in the quiet confidence of knowing who you are and what you stand for. In times of emotional disconnection or solitude, use this space to shed what no longer serves you, find your true center, and live with purpose, peace, and authenticity. Through the lens of modern Stoicism, rediscovery is about strengthening the relationship you have with yourself, allowing you to live more fully in line with your own values and desires, free from the weight of outside influence. I'd love to hear from you. How do you deal with moments when you feel dismissed or overlooked? Do you find yourself chasing validation? Or are you starting to embrace your own growth and strength? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I focus on my growth, or I stop chasing and embrace myself. And don't miss out. Stay until the end, because the final insight will definitely leave you surprised. Keep watching for more wisdom to transform your approach to life. Number 10. The power of acceptance. The power of acceptance is one of the most profound lessons in dealing with distance or rejection in relationships and life. When someone pulls away or distances themselves, the natural instinct is often to resist, try to fix the situation, or change their mind. But Stoic philosophy, along with the teachings of Confucius, offers a transformative perspective. Acceptance is not about resignation, but about acknowledging reality as it is and responding with wisdom and grace. By accepting what cannot be changed, we free ourselves from the exhausting cycle of resistance and find peace. Instead of obsessing over why someone has distanced themselves or trying to control the situation, acceptance helps us let go of the need to change others. It's not about liking the situation, but choosing not to be defined by it. The Stoics remind us that our true power lies in how we respond, think, and act, not in the actions or feelings of others. When you stop trying to control things outside your reach, you can shift your focus to what you can control, your own growth and mindset. Imagine a situation where a colleague or friend begins to pull away from you. It may sting at first, but practicing acceptance means acknowledging that their behavior is outside of your control. Instead of chasing after them or trying to fix things, you can turn inward and ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow from this challenge? This shift allows you to stop fixating on what's beyond your control and focus on your own emotional well-being and personal growth. Acceptance gives you the strength to move forward. It helps you stop fighting against reality and instead make empowered decisions that lead to personal growth. This Stoic secret emphasizes that the only thing you can truly control is your internal world, your thoughts, reactions, and actions. By accepting a difficult situation, you reclaim your peace of mind, regardless of what is happening around you. It doesn't mean you like the situation, but it allows you to act with dignity and grace, free from the emotional burden of trying to control others. When you stop trying to control every outcome, you create space for healing. Acceptance frees you from frustration and resentment, allowing you to embrace the present moment with clarity. This emotional freedom enables you to grow stronger, more resilient, and less bogged down by unnecessary emotional baggage. Rather than spending energy resisting a situation, you can focus on learning from it, which is one of the most powerful Stoic secrets. The key lesson is clear. When you face rejection or distance, instead of fighting against it, focus on your own growth. Acceptance is not about liking what's happening, but about letting go of what's outside your control. By practicing acceptance, you free yourself from frustration and create the mental space for healing and improvement. The power of acceptance lies in its ability to help you rise above external circumstances and focus on what truly matters, your inner peace, growth, and well-being. This wisdom, embraced by both the Stoics and Confucius, is a valuable tool that empowers you to move forward with strength and resilience, choosing to grow and rise with grace. As we wrap up today's video, remember the powerful principles we've explored: understanding the strength of silence, building self-esteem, communicating effectively, and focusing on your own personal growth. The core idea here is simple, yet profound. While you can't control others' actions, you absolutely have control over how you respond to them. Embrace this power and know that when you find your true value, no one's indifference can shake you. I'd love to hear from you. How have you applied these Stoic principles in your life? What experiences have helped you grow stronger and more resilient? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below, and let's learn from each other. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more content to help you live with purpose and confidence every day.